god, Pepperly, it's Christmas! It's Christmas! I wonder what Wargaming got me. What are we gonna get this year from Wargaming? Oh wow! What's this? Oh my word, they've given us a tier 3 tank this year. This is incredibly generous of them. What's this? A Toldi? Oh wow, let's play this right now. Okay, here we go. 1 versus 4. This is pretty tense. Where is he? Where is he? Oh my word, he's behind me. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Alright. Now a Chiha. 1 into him. Oh, come on, come on. Why is the reload so slow? My turret's damaged. Uh-oh. Yes! Okay. We got this. And he's down. Oh my god, oh my god. There's still somebody in the cap circle. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Oh, where are they? What is in the cap circle? Oh god. So while it certainly wasn't my lucky day with the Toldi, at least we got our ace tanker in the first game we played in this vehicle. But the free tanks that Wargaming usually release are a little bit dry, and they're even starting to admit it with a hilarious video by Meathead Militia and Paul Barnett.
Hello fellow tankers, my name is Meathead Militia. I've been yanked from the subreddit by my boss because he thinks I'm photogenic and I have personality. So I'm here to tell you something. This holiday season, we're giving you a free garage slot.
Ooh. And we talked about this. It's not a free garage slot, free tank, gift tank. We're giving them a gift tank.
This holiday season, we're giving you a free tank, which you will sell for a free garage slot.
You're killing me.
You've got to respect their honesty, and that's one of the best videos that Wargaming has released in a while. And I recommend you go and check out the full video. It's hilarious. I'll put a link in the description down below. However, your average WOT player, and no, I'm not getting this name wrong, thinks otherwise. And so now we have the pleasure of literally watching your average World of Tanks player. That's his name. This isn't just an average World of Tanks player playing in the brand new Toldi III. So, it's a tier 3 German premium light tank, and it looks like your average World of Tanks player likes to, you know, do something else just at the start of the battle. Who needs those, the first 20 seconds of the game, right? I'm only joking. But he had a fantastic round here in the first day of this tank being released on the European server. Now, the Americans had it before us, as usual recently. What's up with that? So I did manage to play this on my North American account, and I knew roughly what we would be getting. This is the kind of matchmaking that you only get when whole new tank lines are released at low tier, or when a new premium freebie vehicle like the Toldi is given to the whole population. And that is 13 Toldis on the enemy team. So what better way to test out this tank than to be playing against 13 of the same vehicle that you're playing, right? So what about this tank? What's special about it? Well, we saw that its mobility is fairly okay. It's not super impressive though. It goes at 40 kilometers an hour forwards. That's not entirely impressive for a low tier light tank. And it has a horsepower to ton ratio of just under 17. So it feels a lot more like a medium than a light tank, but at these low tiers, a lot of mediums are called lights and a lot of lights are called mediums. That's just the way it is. Well, actually, probably more the other way around, right? Probably not many light tanks in reality are called mediums down at this end. But what I'm trying to say is that the class system doesn't really hold as true at low tiers as it does towards the higher end of the game. So, he's managing to put in round after round after round into the enemy Toldi, but his mobility prevented him from probably taking advantage of making his way up onto the hill on this map. I think in a true light tank he would have rushed up onto the hill. One thing that the Toldi does have is great gun depression, so we can see the enemy Toldis that are in the position here are going to be getting great shots down into the players that are trying to take the cap on encounter mines. However, he can return fire. Your average World of Tanks player starting to put in some good shots. Now, this tank has one feature that I really despise about it, and definitely an argument for the garage slot side, right? Because that's what this kind of is. Is it a garage slot? Is it a tank worth keeping? So what is it? What is this big thing that I truly despise about the Toldi? Well, it's the fact that this vehicle gets the worst DPM on any tank at Tier 3. Its rate of fire is appalling considering what its average alpha damage is. This tank does 45 damage each hit with its 40mm gun. And because of its awful rate of fire, it literally has the worst DPM of any Tier 3 tank that has ever been in the game. And it has worse DPM than the vast majority of Tier 2 tanks. I think there's only a handful of vehicles, even at Tier 2, that take as long as the Toldi to be able to pick apart its opponents. But your average World of Tanks player is certainly playing above average here. He's doing pretty much everything right, and he's already done 700 damage. That's enough to take 3.5 tanks out. And one thing that should be said is that while this tank does have a terrible rate of fire for its 40mm gun, it actually has super penetration. Its penetration is ridiculously high for a Tier 3 tank. It has 64mm of penetration on its standard rounds, and if you choose to fire premium, it goes up to 80. You don't really need to fire many premium rounds with this tank. You should be able to deal with the standard rounds just fine. And 64mm of penetration is more than enough to go through any tank Tier 3 and below, and can also start to challenge higher tiered vehicles, even such as a Matilda, I guess, in certain situations, especially if the ammo rolls high. You shouldn't really try and judge many tanks versus a Matilda. What about judging it against the Panzer II-J, that infamous gold #gold noob tank, you know, at Tier 3? You're going to easily be able to get through the side and the rear of that tank. Might still have some difficulties getting through the front, but you still got a chance at least, unlike many Tier 3 light tanks that wouldn't stand a hope in hell of getting through that KV-1-like armor at Tier 3. And I bet you all of the people who purchased the Panzer II-J just recently in the calendar must have been bitterly disappointed that Wargaming didn't put in like a Tier 2 gift tank like they usually do, with terrible penetration that has no hope in hell of penetrating the Panzer II-J. So, sorry about that. Sucks for everyone who just purchased that tank. So, your average World of Tanks player is certainly playing against an above average Smurf here. Little Devil #1 on the enemy team is a very good player, and they're going to have a one-on-one now. They're pretty much on the same health, and your average World of Tanks player dunks the first shot. Let's see how your average Smurf player is going to hold. Oh, great play here. Your average World of Tanks player gets straight in there and holds the side of his tank, preventing him from being able to turn. Oh no, disaster. The auto-aim doesn't quite manage to pen. The second one does, and it looks like your average Smurf is not doing too well against World of Tanks player here. Fantastic. Over 1,000 damage and 7 kills in this vehicle. I'm impressed. That's the equivalent of killing about 5 tanks on the enemy team. But he also picked up 7 kills, and he's defended the cap circle valiantly, and now he finds himself against another Toldi. How will he handle this situation? But he puts his first shot in, and angles his armor well here. Good. He's got to watch out, though. He's going to die within 1 or 2 hits from the enemy tank, and he still has to put a sizable amount of damage into him. He has to hit him at least 3, if not 4 times to be able to remove his vehicle from the game. Oh, that's not what you wanted. Not a good hit there. So what about the accuracy on the tank? Well, it's 0.43. Rather mediocre. You do miss a lot of shots, but it could be worse. It's just the DPM in this tank. The amount of time it has taken your average World of Tanks player to kill vehicles that are in front of it. When you think that funky tanks such as the Panzer I-C could have done that in just a second or 2. Really makes this... I'm starting to feel that it is a garage slot, guys. Although, I think that is a gift tank like this that really you have no hope of ever getting again in the game worth giving up just for probably what is 150 gold. Well, if 150 gold really means that much to you, when a garage slot is on sale, of course, and not costing 300, then it's probably worth selling this tank. But for me, being a collector, this is very tense at the end of the game. One more. What is that Toldi doing? Great job, your average World of Tanks player. But as I was saying, for me as a collector, I would never sell a gift tank just for having the novelty of having it in my garage. So what a great result for your average World of Tanks player here. He did everything right apart from that auto-aim at the Smurf in the middle and played a fantastic round of World of Tanks, picking himself up 8 kills in his first ever game. That's quite an achievement. And so I guess the real question here is, should you keep this tank or is it a free garage slot? Well, personally for me as a tank collector, I would not sell this tank just to save 150 gold that I might have to pay when the garage slots are on sale. But truth be told, I have no intentions of ever playing this tank again after I picked up my ace tanker in this vehicle in the first game that I played in it as well. And that's because the DPM on this tank is just so unbelievably bad. As I've said, having the worst DPM of any tier 3 tank is catastrophic, at least for my playstyle. I like to jump out and ambush vehicles at low tier. You don't have the armor, at least in vehicles like this, to bounce anyone. So in close quarters, they're going to hit you and you're going to lose hit points. And so for me personally, I like to have the DPM to be able to kill my opponents before they can fight back at low tiers, which can allow me to go on and rack up the damage and rack up the kills and to carry the game. And that's something that I just can't do with the 40mm gun on the Toldi. And so we'll be peacefully retiring it. And so all that's left to say is the best of season's greetings to all of you and a Merry Christmas if that's what you're celebrating today. I hope you have a fantastic time with your friends and family, and I wish you all the best this holiday season in the run-up to the new year. Have an awesome time whatever you get up to, and as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.